Joining us now is Dr. Michael Lim, cardiologist with SSM SLU Hospital and SLU Care. 49 years young, Dr. Michael Lim. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning. Hit me with Nebraska and 49.
I know, don't you love how
what's going to be next here, man?
Mentioning your age.
Well, I'm just reminding everybody that he's 49, and at 50, the lights go off. And he's got to go see the doctor.
You would know, Chief.
You know,
I would know.
He thinks he's cute now that he has a clean colon.
Now that I have a polyp-free colon, yes, I can now stick it to everybody else, so to speak. So there you go. I'm glad you want to talk about this because with the passing of Barbara Bush, she was a true legend. She was an icon. She was a force. And at the end of her life came a story that she decided to sort of have what was the term for it she had? It was comfort care. Comfort care. And there's a lot of misinformation, a lot of misnomers about comfort care. So I'm glad we're talking about it because it is, as much as it is a part of life, death is also a part of life.
Absolutely. And so I think that's the key, and that's part of her beauty of why she was loved so much, is that even in her passing or her final days, I think she provided us an opportunity to talk about a very important topic,
right,
and to raise that conversation and to learn more. We really focus on medical care in terms of diagnosing things, treating things, curing things. You hear about the fight against this, or we're going to fight that, we're going to fight this, we're going to win. And I think you're right in terms of that's a strong statement that's not reality. And we will not win every single battle.
Right.
We have a lifespan. It is limited. We're not told exactly how long that lifespan is. And then when you look at our country and how we do things from a healthcare standpoint, we spend an awful lot of time and energy in the last 5 years of life. Not to mention the amount of money we spend in the last 5 years of life. And so we're not necessarily so good at starting to understand, well, is it over the threshold? And is this a bridge too far to go? So, I think Barbara Bush is like America's grandma. My grandma had an unbelievable life as well, and started having some issues and ended up having a tumor in her abdomen, and got an evaluation. And my take on that from the evaluation was, this is it. Treatment for this was not going to provide any benefit whatsoever. Treatment in terms of trying to do a surgery to remove the tumor, any kind of chemotherapy. And what we ended up doing was exactly what Barbara Bush just taught us, which was comfort care.
Right.
Comfort care is not devoid of treatment. Comfort care focuses the treatment on an individual person's comfort and trying to make those days that they have left as comfortable as possible. And that takes a special gift to provide that treatment,
right,
and that care. But it also takes a special gift, especially from a physician standpoint and the loved ones, the family members, to be able to come up with that and support that decision. Patients oftentimes come up with that deal, but the family members are like, no, you got to do this.
Right.
And the doctors, unfortunately, we're stuck in a situation where we don't actually want to bring up that conversation. Like, McGraw, we're not going to get anything out of this.
Right.
So we often never say that statement.
Right.
And I think we need to do a better job with that, as well as, everybody needs to do a better job of asking that question.
Yeah.
What are we going to get out of this?
Somebody once said to me, the difference between the Canadian medical system and the American medical system is that Americans don't think they're going to die.
Well, maybe true. But I think that's been proven untrue by the facts.
Right.
And I think that's the deal. We spend an awful lot of time and energy having folks die in hospitals,
right,
with a bunch of tubes, whether they're just IVs or whether they're more, surgeries, chemotherapy drugs, radiation therapies, a lot of things. And that's the point that I'm raising, is start asking the question, what are we going to get out of this?
Right.
What's the result here? And if the end game is still going to be that we're not going to be any better off, we're not going to be able to provide any meaningful life, and add to that lifespan, well, let's focus on the quality of life
Right.
that we still have left. And that's what comfort care does, is focus on quality. Make your days great.
Right.
And there's a tweet from somebody about Barbara Bush the last couple of days saying, yeah, she was short of breath, but she's drinking a glass of bourbon with a smile on her face.
Right.
Now, there's a quality of life. I mean,
Right.
what else could anybody, if you start thinking about
A 92-year-old woman who's in failing health having a shot of bourbon every day.
you know,
Yeah.
but with a smile on her face.
Right.
And that's the deal. And if you think about it in terms of nobody wants to project, well, what's my death going to be like or whatever, but, that sounds great. She went out with a smile on her face.
Right. Yeah.
And that is something that we all face, or many of us have faced with
Right.
loved ones.
Yeah, but it's also, it's not pulling the plug per se and having a living will. But I'm sure talking to your loved ones, your family, saying, hey, you know what? If and when, comfort care is a really nice idea for me.
I think it's a fantastic idea, and I think that's focused based on the question I keep repeating. So anytime we get into a deal, what am I going to get out of this? So, there are treatments that we can offer from a heart standpoint for even a 94-year-old where we could possibly prolong their life. But then there's other things that I don't know whether we prolong life or not in
Right.
any way, shape, or form. And preventing a heart attack, if you're already 94, preventing a heart attack, that's probably not a very good goal either. So the goal really is, how can we help you feel better?
Right.
And that's kind of fitting the definition of comfort care.
Right, yeah. Right, have the surgery, have all the pain and everything else, and you're going to prolong your life 3 weeks. Does it really make any sense?
Yeah, I wish I knew from a standpoint of being a doctor, being able to kind of project forward and saying, well, okay, this is going to help you live 3 more weeks longer, or this is going to help you live 6 months longer, that kind of thing. I have no idea
Right.
about any of those things. And I think the first time we say stuff like that, we're probably very wrong. We just have odds. The likelihood is, given other people in similar scenarios.
Yeah.
And then the other problem with respect to 90-year-olds is we're basing it off of highly limited information.
Right, small sample size.
Well, we don't have really good medical evidence and data to support caring for an 89, 90, or 92-year-old. I guess Barbara Bush had heart failure.
Right.
So
And
we
she had
don't.
this Graves' disease, too, as well.
Yeah, well, Graves' disease is a dealable thing, and that just deals with your thyroid. So you have to take thyroid. You have to get your thyroid treated, and then you're on thyroid supplementation, and you just have to regulate that. So
Right.
that's not a terrible thing. But we don't have a whole lot of great data to say, well, the perfect way to treat a 92-year-old with heart failure is this.
Right.
But we have nothing from that standpoint. So you have to
interesting.
do the best you can.
Dr. Michael Lim, always interesting. Cardiologist with SSM Health and SLU Hospital and SLU Care, always taking the tough questions, the interesting stories as